And I still haven't updated that intro. Hey, LS11 Universe, it's Xander, and welcome to the 4-year anniversary celebration. We have made it 4 years of doing this thing that no one really understands outside of this bubble what it is. I really do. I've tried explaining it to my family. They don't get it. Anyways, my wife lives with me. I'm pretty sure she still doesn't really understand it. Anyways, yes, we are here at the 4-year celebration, and what a year it has been for the channel. One of our biggest years yet, I would say. Possibly our biggest year yet. I know year 3 was where we went from like 600 subs to 2,000, and yeah, we didn't get, well, you know, we didn't get that big of a jump this year comparatively, but we hit 3K this year, and that is no small feat. I mean, let's talk about it. We've had quite the year since October 29th last year. Let's see. Let me open up YouTube Studio here, and I can tell you just how much we've done since then, because it has been just a very, very long year is the best way to put it. There's been, let's see, in that time, there have been several live streams, obviously. I've moved again. Because I can't seem to go a year without moving at this point. I'll be moving again in a month and a half, so that's exciting. Let's see. I have gone back 200 videos on the channel, and I'm still at the beginning of this. I'm still not even at the beginning of this year. 250, and we've put out almost 300 videos this year, and this is the 302nd day of the year. So can't say we're not consistent, at least. Let's see. But since last October, we have had over 300 videos at this point, over 350 actually, several live streams. On this day last year, we introduced Ring of Honor to the channel, so that was exciting. We just had TLC 2013, our first non-2004 retro show, our first retro show from the closest retro show we've had to the time when I started watching wrestling, and we'll actually be picking up where that one left off sooner rather than later. Why is the webcam making the microphone what it thinks it needs to focus on in the frame when there's a moving human face on screen? Anyways, this is like a $30 webcam. That's the worst part about it. It's the most expensive webcam I've ever owned, and it can't focus on my face. Anyways, yeah, so this is also going to be probably about a 30-minute stream, maybe. It might go like a few minutes over 30, but the goal is to make it 30 minutes in and out. So if you got questions, this is the stream to ask them. Obviously, we just had TLC, which was an incredible show. I'm really proud of how it turned out. Granted, I'm not ever going to do 2K19 again. I love WWE 2K19. I've got nostalgia for WWE 2K19, and I think that's the best way to talk about that. It is purely nostalgia at this point, because while the pacing of 2K19 is easier for longer videos, longer video doesn't always mean better quality, is what I've noticed. That's why some of my favorite episodes of Universe are the ones that are like 35, 45 minutes instead of the ones that run like an hour and a half. Because one, they're easier on me, and two, I just think the quality's better. Like tomorrow's episode of Raw, which is actually available now for channel members, is it's processing HD, so it's 48-minute episode, right? But I think it's a really good episode. Whereas a couple weeks ago, we had an episode when, let's see, the Stadium Stampede episode, for example, went for, wow, that was 50 videos ago. Jeez. Stadium Stampede was an hour-long video, and I'm not super proud of that episode, for example. So sometimes shorter episodes are a little better. And also, TLC 2013 was just a pain to record. I forgot how tedious 2K19 is. I do want to say hey to everyone who's shown up. I see some familiar faces in the chat, some new faces as well. So to everyone, welcome to the stream. We will have some fun stuff to share throughout the stream today. Of course, we got Pierre and Zach, who are both members in the chat. We got Hanzo, who's been here forever. We got Le Mario Hockey. We got Viper Brawl Stars. We got Michael McLavin, who are all, or McIlvain, excuse me, who are all newer faces in the chat. So welcome to everyone that is here. And welcome to anyone who's just lurking in the chat, doesn't want to talk, which is perfectly fine as well. Of course, also, you might have just heard her in the background. We got a new addition to the LS11 family this season, or this year, the channel. We got Nizzle the cat, who is a ball of chaos in a small 8-pound frame. My wife has stood up. I'm afraid Nizzle's about to make a cameo.
Get over here.
I don't think she wants to.
Talking about you. You've got to show face, little girl.
Of course, we've got Nizzle the cat, who is just not wanting to be on frame. Got it. Understand. Don't.
She's camera shy.
Exactly. Another channel member in chat, Austin Dillon, is here. Good to see you. But yeah, we've had just an incredible year, and there's a lot to talk about. So, like I said, any questions you want to throw them this way, and I'll start just talking because it's what I'm best at. It's what I do for a living. Sometimes. But yeah, no, this year we started Ring of Honor, and that started as just 5 pay-per-views a year. Then it became a TikTok series for like 2 weeks, and now it's a membership series, so it's actually full-blown episodes every week. We started the Retro series, which is quietly dying out already. And then LSWF had a short-lived run. I think LSWF also started October 29th. I think. I don't remember. Let me look at the playlist. When did LSWF start? Because that was all things considered, pretty short-lived series, just because it wasn't as fun as I thought it was going to be to do. And it just... okay, yeah, the very first LSWF kickoff was on this day last year. And, you know, I had fun with it for a time, and then eventually it got to a point where the drama it caused, and the amount of views it got just wasn't really worth the time. Yeah, so Hanzo asked the first question. Thoughts on Roman missing Survivor Series? I think it's ridiculous. I think his lightened schedule is just... it's ridiculous. The guy's defended the belt 3 times in 11 months. If you have any time, maybe New Japan for members. Yeah, so the reason that that's not really an option is because the reason New Japan's not really a weekly option is because Ray already does AEW weekly, and Ray works a 9 to 5 and is in college, and I work an 8 to 5, and Ray's 9 to 5 is sometimes more like a noon to 10 or something. So Ray's working and has school. I'm working and do most of the videos on the channel.
You're both pulling 40-hour weeks.
Exactly.
That's the best way to phrase it in listing hours is 40-hour work weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I work a 40-hour work week too.
Yeah, so I do a 40-hour work week. So at this point, I'm ending the Retro series with 2004 SmackDown because, well, 1, the views aren't great, and 2, it's just an extra hour to 3 hours of my week that I could have back to, I don't know, play other games that aren't wrestling games, try and make this YouTube live streaming stuff happen on the other channel. Like, I got Spider-Man 2 right here, still in plastic wrap. Is that because it was accidentally shipped to my old house and had to get mailed to me? Yes, but I would love to be sitting here streaming it, but I don't have time because when I get home from work tomorrow, you know what I got to do? I got to record Tuesday's episode. So I got 4 Tuesday videos left to do, and then I'm done. And the retro pay-per-views will just be like a every few months thing like we had with TLC there. So it'll essentially be, oh, I got to put in this extra 2 hours of work once every few months. And that'll be nice. So that's why it's just Ring of Honor that gets membership shows, because I also know the Ring of Honor talent better. I don't know New Japan. I don't follow New Japan. I'm just not a big fan. It's just not my thing, you know? That's how I feel about it. I like some of the stars that are there. It's just not for me. It's the same way that, you know, I like AEW just fine. It's just I don't watch it most weeks now because it's not been that enjoyable for me as of late. And that's not a, tribalism thing. That's just a, I prefer one show more than the other. But you know what? If someone else has a different opinion from me, cool. I'm not going to judge them or jump on them for it. That's how I feel about all of that. Let's see. But yeah, we of course started membership stuff. WWE Live occasionally happens now as our membership series. The World Cup is going strong. We are now halfway through the second round. This week, round 2 will have, this week is round 2 bracket C, which will see 4 matches this week. And that is going to see, let's see here. Black Taurus representing Mexico against Japan's Konosuke Takeshita. 2 Canadians as Ethan Page and Kevin Owens. Kenny Omega from Canada versus Shinsuke Nakamura from Japan. AJ Styles representing the U.S. against Japan's Kota Ibushi. So the World Cup is stacked this week, which is exciting. Let's see. Pierre says last night's Collision was the first full episode of Collision I've watched in a while. Yeah, I've watched maybe one full episode of Collision ever, and it's because it was like a day or two before we moved out here to this new place, and I needed something on while I was packing the house up. And it was a Saturday night. Zach says, what gave me the idea for the flaming table on WWE Live yesterday? Genuinely, I realized I could do it. And I was like, well, hardcore titles really just become the house show title. So let's just have fun with it and do something stupid. Because I've not had time to do WWE Live very often. And with how stacked shows are right now, the hardcore title is just really not had a space on Raw as of late. So it's just kind of become the house show title for now. As things are going to expand a little bit with Raw soon. And not in a way where it's like, oh, Xander's giving himself more to do. It's more like Xander's trying something a little different that's going to stretch the workout a little bit into smaller chunks that are a little more frequent, if that makes sense. I'm hyped for Omega versus Nakamura, and I'm really hyped for AJ versus Kota. It might be match of the night for even the match of the whole tournament. Yeah, I'm really excited to record those matches. I will probably be recording those tomorrow. Typically, the way I do recordings now is I do a full, because I get home from work at like 5:30 and my wife works till 9. So I've got like 3.5 hours to play with before she gets home. When we move in December, it won't matter because, well, we won't be living in essentially one room together, and that being it. Can we get a Halloween stream where I cosplay LA Knight? So I don't have the stuff to do that. I've looked for the stuff because I was going to do that, but I think on the other channel I am going to do a Halloween stream on Tuesday after I get home from work, and I think my Peacemaker cosplay is still here. I think it might be in a box. If I can find it, I will start Spider-Man 2 on Halloween and wear my Peacemaker cosplay for it because it's the only costume I have here. RS asks who has the longest reign, Cody or Joe. Samoa Joe's reign is 2 weeks longer than Cody's right now. Let's see. LS11universe.com has been updated as of today. It's caught up for the rest of the week. Or it's caught up for everything up to today. And then I've just kind of decided Saturdays or the last show of the week is when I'm going to update it for the week, because otherwise I'm updating it 7 times a week. And that's just not fun for me. Because shut up. So yeah, Cody's been World Heavyweight Champion since August 29th, 2022. Samoa Joe has been the Impact World Champion since, I think, August 6th. 2022. So yeah, there's a few weeks difference there. So Samoa Joe's still got the longest reign right now. Pierre asked, who's the longest reigning champion in LS11 history? That has changed as of today. As of right now, let me see. August 6th, right? How many days since August 6th, 2022? Samoa Joe has been champion for 449 days. Which means that in terms of reigns we've seen play out in full, Rhea Ripley's 477-day reign as the Raw Women's Champion is still the longest. But because it has now become canon to LS11 history, allow me to present my screen. like a teacher. If we go to ls11universe.com right over here, you will see that some reigns have been added in today. And now the longest reigning WWE champion in LS11 history is CM Punk, who won the championship at Money in the Bank 2011 and held it until Royal Rumble 2013 for a 561-day reign with the world title. We will tell this story of one Phil Brooks sooner. I'm going to close out the booking document so I don't accidentally click on that. That would spoil a lot. So you will one day get to see the reign of Phil play out, where you will understand how he became champion for 561 days. Of course, he lost it to Rock. And then so all the reigns that we talked about on TLC today have been added in. Rock's reign from Rumble to Mania, Cena's reign from Mania to SummerSlam, Daniel Bryan's one-day reign, Randy Orton's cash-in. And so then you see Daniel Bryan has now been updated to a two-time champion, and as has John Felix Anthony Cena Jr. There he is. So yep, CM Punk as of right now is the longest reigning champion in LS11 history. I'm not particularly thrilled about it, quite honestly. But, Pierre says the only person that might beat that is Cody. And just to show it off a little bit, I suppose, we can show that some other titles have been updated as well. The World Heavyweight title now has Dolph Ziggler with a 203-day reign out of the mix, John Cena with a 49-day reign, and CM Punk is the current champion in the year 2013 going into 2014. And I'll make a little announcement about this soon, actually. And so you see then from there it goes into the current day series, starting with where we started 4 years ago today with Seth Rollins as the Universal Champion. Hey, Lonnie, thank you. And so there's nothing that's been updated on the women's title because these titles are brand new as of 2016. U.S. titles had a couple things added to it now. We've got, of course, the Retro Champions, Big Show, Cena, Booker, and Cena again. Ambrose has now had a 210-day reign in history, and Zack Ryder is the current Retro Champion, which if we ever do TLC 2011, this will get updated to 2 times. What other titles? The Intercontinental title has a little bit of history changing with it as well, with Big E now as a former Intercontinental Champion, which means that if he ever wins one of these in LS11, he's officially a Grand Slam champion, which we've still only had one of so far, that being one Tommaso Ciampa. Also, so I know this one's an interesting one. Hey, Daryl Keith, thank you. So this is the other interesting one. The Cruiserweight title, in case you were curious, the legacy of the Cruiserweight title in the Retro Series carries over to this belt. It's just that the Cruiserweight title was canonically in LS11 temporarily deactivated from whenever it was deactivated in real life through the Cruiserweight Classic in 2016. So eventually these dates will actually become dates because Johnny and Seth are both the U.S. title away. There's a lot of people who are only one title away from Grand Slam. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, so the Cruiserweight title lineage does carry over. I think we might eventually do the 2016 Cruiserweight Classic, just possibly change up who wins it. I don't know. I liked TJP. All the stuff that kind of had him not be an LS11 and anything has been proven to be false at this point. So you never know. He might show up at some point somewhere. It just depends. But yeah, so the Cruiserweight title. And then this is the important one. The titles that are currently held by the Dudleys on SmackDown are actually what are now the Raw Tag Team Championships, which is interesting. Yes, KO is still missing a world title. And so you can see Cody and Goldust. There has been a small change in history here as well. You might remember in the real world, they won the WWE tag titles off the Shield a few weeks after beating them at Battleground. In LS11 history, the Shield versus the Rhodes main evented Battleground and was for the titles and the Rhodes jobs. So with the help of their father, they beat the Shield and became champions together. Which also, look at babyface Cody with no neck tattoo and brown hair instead of blonde. What the fuck? It's like looking in a weird mirror, isn't it? But yeah, so I'm really excited to go into history with that. And so that's all the history changes that have been made on the website as of today. Eventually, the retro roster is just going to be deleted. this page will get deleted in a few weeks when SummerSlam 04 airs, and all the people who aren't currently on the series, like Billy Kidman, Charlie Haas, guys like that, are going to get moved either to the free agency if they still actively wrestle nowadays, or Legends and Retired Stars, which you can see has a few people in it already. So, like, for example, AJ Lee was added to it today because she had her first ever match in LS11. And so everything is linked, because I know a few people had questions about that. So that TLC show today links to what we now have in LS11 universe, because I know that's a big thing for people. So like Batista, he's only had one match that we've seen in LS11. It was at WrestleMania 20, where he beat Mick Foley in the No Holds Barred match. Big E is now a former Intercontinental Champion, for example. So if KO wins a world title in the Retro Series, he would be a Grand Slam champion. Yes, in the same way that if John Cena wins tag titles, he will be considered a Grand Slam champion as well, because he's a two-time U.S. champion in the Retro Series. But if you go to John Cena on the current roster, and you can see a few people have had roster portrait updates, like Alexa Bliss. AJ Styles, still part of the SmackDown roster while currently appearing in Impact. There are going to be a few roster changes coming soon. Akira Tozawa is going to be moving to Raw, and a few people are going to be moving to SmackDown just to try and balance the rosters back out after everything that happened recently. We are going to get to the Carlito needs a roster update. I will do that next week. I usually, like, once a month after each big pay-per-view for the channel, go in and just make sure everyone's got up-to-date photos on the roster. I only do it once a month because otherwise I'm stressing over it every day, and that's not fun for me. I don't like this picture of Dom. It's got like very 2011 moving graphics quality to it. But anyways, it's the only PNG of him right now where he's not wearing a Judgment Day shirt. But if you go into John Cena, he's a two-time United States champion, Intercontinental champion. He is now a two-time WWE champion and a former World Heavyweight champion. Goatee and eye contact Roman is weird to look back on. It is. I didn't even think about that. Oh, that's insane. But yeah, and so like it's mentioned that, the Rhodes beat the Shield to win those titles. However, if you go to Roman and Seth right now, neither of them are listed as former WWE tag team. Well, Seth's listed as a former Raw tag team champion, but neither of them have former WWE tag team champion down here because we haven't seen that title reign yet, for example. And that translates to everyone. So, if you go to Jon Moxley on the AEW roster right now, for example, let's go find him here real quick. He's somewhere in here. There he is. You'll see he's now a former United States champion as well. So all of that carries over. That should explain that to people, hopefully. I'm just so proud of how this website has turned out. It's been a lot of fun to make it. There is eventually going to be a tag teams and faction page that appears as an option. History will get moved over to about here, and right here will be tag teams and factions. I just haven't figured out how I'm going to do that yet. How I want to format those graphics. I haven't figured that out. And that's just another thing I'm going to have to update over time as well. So that's why I've been hesitant to do it, because I'm not wanting to pile myself up too much anymore. I'm trying not to stretch myself thin anymore. Best Roman was very weird to see. Again, it's been a long time because, like, also modern classic, huh? Sorry, Ray. Don't know if you're watching. Oh, and this is just a small note that makes me laugh. Phil, you make me angry, Phil. I also need to go in and add WWE Champion here. I forgot to do that yesterday, which I will go do that another time. But yeah, so that should be everything on the website that needs to be talked about as the update there. Let's see. Do we have anything else to talk about? I think we do. There was a text message that just came in. Was that from Ray? Oh, Ray has asked for a login code. He's coming to the stream. So Ray is going to be here in just a moment. Just a second, folks. So when Ray gets in here, we'll go live. We'll be live for a few more minutes at least. And then I have promised my wife some Baldur's Gate today. So she and I will be doing that after the stream. There we go. All right, Ray will be in here in a minute. We've seen the first turning point of the Shield today. Yes, I am. I'm very excited about that. I feel like I can now announce that I don't have a date set for it yet, but our next retro show after 2004 SmackDown is done in 4 weeks. because 4 weeks from yesterday on, let's see, November 25th will be the grand finale of SmackDown 2004 with SummerSlam 2004, which will feature Raw's side of the card as well. That will get announced over the next few weeks once we finalize that, because we haven't finalized it yet, which will also be the first time the weird Oval Intercontinental title gets seen. I'm not super excited about that, but you'll get to see that soon. But when SmackDown 2004 is complete, the next pay-per-view we will bring you from the Retro Series, from my end at least. Ray is talking about working on one of his own, which I'm pretty excited to see how that turns out. I've told him to give me info for it, and I'll do what I can to help him. And speaking of the devil, he shall appear in just a moment. He's connecting his devices. He's almost here. Let me delete these emails that I don't need anymore. There we go. Just a bunch of spam emails I didn't need. Well, am I good? Are we good? Okay, cool. Say his name and he appears. I believe it's Ray Wood. Anyway. Hi, Ray. Oh, he's on. Do I need to add you? Okay, there he is.
I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
live
here.
in living color. Okay, cool.
Yep, you're good. We're good. We're doing it live.
Fuck, we'll do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
I mean, it wouldn't be the LS11 4-year anniversary without both members of the channel here. So
Yeah, I figured that, and I thought we were starting at like 1, right?
Right.
Because I just figured pay-per-view starts at 11. Pay-per-view goes about 2 hours for Xander. Because Xander can get like pay-per-views done like an hour and a half or 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm lucky with AEW if I get out of there. Like,
yeah, you're lucky if an AEW pay-per-view is 3 hours.
yeah. I've managed to keep let's see, I've done 4 at this point, and all have been over 2.5 hours.
Have you done 4 now?
I've done 4. I've done 2 specials and 2 pay-per-views.
That's right. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. And then I did Wrestle Kingdom, which itself was
Yeah, that was a long one.
yeah.
God, according to Hanzo, 2K14 came out 10 years ago today. That's my favorite WWE ad.
Yeah. I was posting in the comments today that I wish they would bring back the have you ever played SmackDown vs. Raw 2011?
I have it right here. I don't know if I've played this one or not, though. It's the only one I have that doesn't have a an actual case on it.
So all the they completely redesigned the weapon system.
Mm-hmm.
So if your guy just landed on the table somehow, the table would break.
Yeah.
So it was designed it to be a lot more realistic with how the weapons would break like that.
Yeah.
Which, it kind of sucks because if you were setting up a table and it didn't go right and the table broke, it was like, dang. But then then again, you could set up some really cool spots that way.
Yeah.
It made me mad in 2K19 today. While I was watching the pay-per-view, there came the moment in that 4-way, that tables 4-way, where literally, if 2K19 just had that weapon system, Zack Ryder would be in perfect position to give the rider to Damian Sandow through the table.
So, kind of funny thing, Sandow was originally supposed to win that 5-way.
Mm-hmm.
I was originally going to put the belt on Sandow, but I thought that's too obvious.
Yeah.
And it's 2013. So would it really be 2013 if Damian Sandow didn't get shit on at every possible turn?
I don't know, buddy.
Poor fucker lost Money in the Bank that year. Which I mentioned in LS11. I mentioned today that in LS11 history, his loss is a little different. So to explain that to people, because I don't know if we'll ever actually see it.
What I'm wondering is what are we going to have to do for 5 years? Because once we get to 5, that five's a number, 4.
I have an idea for next year, and let's see what the people think as well. I think next year we do the WrestleMania that took place weeks before LS11 Universe officially started.
Oh, I actually had a similar idea, but it wasn't that WrestleMania. Which one did you want to do? That would have been
that would have been 35 in the real world.
35, right. You want to know which one I wanted to do?
What's
I wanted
that?
to be doing 31.
That one holds a special place in my heart as well.
Well, it also holds a special place in the heart for like our friendship because it was like the first WrestleMania like we watched together.
We watched together.
Yeah. So and now we watch WrestleMania every year together, and we've already established as long as him and I are living like within like 3 hours of one another, probably we'll watch WrestleMania together.
Yeah, exactly. Because like you're the same distance from me you used to be. It's just instead of going from here to here, I'm going from here to here.
Yeah. And I want to establish Xander is like it's the same. Okay, it's the same distance in the sense that it's the same amount of time.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas like you used to be out here and now you're here. And now you're out over here, but it takes you forever to get over here because we live in.
I mean, everyone knows we're from Georgia. As long as we don't say the towns, we're fine. Essentially, we have to go through the busiest part of Georgia.
So all I have to say is the Atlanta Metro.
Yeah, that's fine.
Which there's like, there's like 10 cities that all spin off of the Atlanta Metro. So
exactly.
Congratulations. You have probably a list of about 15 places.
Yeah, congratulations. You've got about a 600-mile circle that we might live in. Good luck. I don't want to throw that challenge out. But so I was about to make an announcement right before you came in.
The blinders. Xander, we're compromised.
Oh, no. But I was going to make this announcement right before you came in. The next retro pay-per-view that I will be doing will be probably sometime in December. I will officially be doing Royal Rumble 2014, the Batista Rumble.
Oh,
you know the
boy.
one. The start of the Rumble not being great for a solid few years.
Because I was like, Xander, there are some Rumbles that are so good, I don't even want to redo them because we could not top them. And like, you want to know what that one is?
What?
You will. I will actually. And it's because I love this show. And I know like we remixers love, but there's no way we could top this show. Have you seen the 2007 Rumble?
I have. That's the one that Orton wins.
No, it's not. That's the one that Taker wins.
Oh, that's the Taker one. Yeah, Orton was 09. My bad.
Yeah. No, that's the one that Taker wins, and him and Shawn were the final two, and they went like 15 minutes.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't redo that one.
Yeah. Manifesting CM Punk return at the Survivor Series. Well, Hanzo, if you saw reports about where old Philly's been recently, you're doing okay. You're doing okay over there, buddy.
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna sob if CM Punk goes to Impact.
They start renting bigger buildings. No.
Also, hey Colton, but yeah, I'm gonna redo Royal Rumble 2014. The first match for it was officially announced at the end of TLC today. CM Punk defends the World Heavyweight Championship against Batista. Batista's not in the 2014 Royal Rumble. What does that mean?
Also, like, to give you a sign that like WWE's changed a lot, Pierre just said about how Raid RKO and Taker and Michaels were the final four for that year's Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that Vince actually used to be able to do long-term booking because at the end of the year, Taker and Edge and Orton and Michaels, they were feuding.
Yeah. Long-term booking, baby. I mean, we're doing long-term booking. Solo cheated Drew out of the Royal Rumble earlier this year, and look what's happening at Money in the Bank next weekend. Yeah. 2 weekends from now.
Yeah, and Money in the Bank. I like Money in the Bank at the show. I mean, like, we're all building to SummerSlam, and like, then we have like this like 3-week period mid-season where we just go insane.
Yep.
Like, so 1 week we have SummerSlam. For one, SummerSlam's actually like the opener. Typically it'd be the closing sequence to this, but it's the opener. We have SummerSlam 1 week. The next weekend after that, we have All in London, which
Oh yeah.
yeah. And then the week after that, we have Bound for Glory.
Yeah, and actually, so I forgot to tell you this. So we have Bound for Glory on December 30th, and that's a double premiere weekend. Because I announced this forever ago, December 31st, the final LS11 show of 2023 is going to be WWE Evolution, LS11's first ever all-women's pay-per-view.
So guys, don't even worry. We got you covered.
We've got you covered. I'm so excited for Evolution. I've been writing this match card for months. Like,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't understand. Like, I promise, and my wife can tell me if this sounds weird or not. I really appreciate women's wrestling in the way of I respect what they do, and I don't think they get enough respect for what they do because too many people are being like, but are they hot enough to be a champion? Could I theoretically see myself dating this woman? No, it's no, they should be treated the same way the men are being treated. And so I'm giving them this full show as a way of like being like, yeah, they're on par with the men of the channel.
Yeah. Also, like recently, especially, there's a lot of, and I'm not like saying I don't like Liv Morgan and Alexa Bliss and like the shorter stature people in the women's roster. But now it's like we have like some like really like big people who can carry the company. I was texting you about this. Now we have Jade Cargill in WWE. In real life, and folks, stay tuned. But then we have, of course, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, like Charlotte Flair, And I was texting you about guys, Camille in NWA.
Mm-hmm.
And I texted Xander, I was like, she's 5'10". She's muscular as all hell. And I sent like a picture, and he's like, I am intrigued.
But on a similar note to that, I know people's probably first response to me saying that about women's wrestling will be like, well, Xander, this you with Rhea Ripley, throwback to all of the jokes I make. It's like, there's a slight difference between I want this woman to beat me up and I don't like this woman because she's not hot enough for me. It's like, no, Rhea Ripley is too good for me. Rhea Ripley.
Also, like, there is a difference between I will say this, and here's what I know a lot of you idiots out there who like go after these women online and get rejected will say, oh, well, I meant it as a joke when you didn't actually mean it as a joke. We meant to actually and it was clear in the context that we did it.
Oh yeah, the Rhea
that
Ripley
it was a joke. Let's
see. So to get back on track a little bit here, I officially announced the Money in the Bank thumbnail last night. So there it is for those that haven't seen it yet. Pretty proud of this one. I thought Trish kind of looming in the background, leaning around Big Ben was a nice touch.
Yeah.
And then Pierre mentions
said, if Survivor Series doesn't end in CM Punk, then Servant's crying meme. Honestly, dude, I'm just saying, I don't think it's real. I don't think this is what will happen. But if that devil mask came off and it was Punk underneath,
the greatest thing the devil ever did was punch Jack Perry in the face and make Tony Khan fear for his life.
No, but imagine if that was a work.
There's
I'm
no
just
way it
saying,
is.
guys, at this point, I'm like, it's gotten so out of hand. Just how messed up this situation is. And mind you, it's not like Punk hasn't hurt himself as an attraction in this whole situation. The Elite have really hurt themselves as an attraction in this situation. But I was reading this thing the other day where it was end of 2021 when Punk and the Elite were both there and the problems weren't there or known yet. Whichever one you want to say. It was the Elite consistently got over 1 million. Punk would do about 1.5 million viewers. Now and now after the situation, Punk, when he was on TV, if he was on Dynamite, he would get 1 million. That's if he was on Dynamite, not on Collision. and then the Elite would get like 700,000. So like both groups like really like cut like their ratings down by a significant margin, getting caught up in this entire situation.
Yeah.
Like, and like I make the show, and I know like that sometimes Xander watches AEW, but I know Xander like since he's given the show over to me, like he's kind of taken a step back from AEW because he's been like, I can leave it alone. I don't have to have anything to do with it practically.
I have one less bag under each eye after giving you AEW.
Yeah, and like
I'm down to like 6 under each eyes now.
Look at my face. It's like, oh my god, dude, you want to know what's funny about that?
What's that?
So I was paying for some groceries yesterday. I work at a store, and then I was my coworker looked at my license and said, "Hey man, when did you have your license picture taken earlier this year? You look a lot older now." And I was sitting there like, and I was like, if you go back and look, I'm like, am I like starting to like, is this like the show starting to wear on me? Like, cut to a few years, like we both look like Obama. It's like just.
Let's see. So Jackson Lane asks, "Where's our royalties from AEW for doing the Jericho and Adam Cole feud?" And then Pierre says, "And MJF and Kenny main eventing the first LS11 Dynamite." So to that, I just collectively will say,
now I'm not saying you owe me royalties for this clearly incredibly amazing idea that I came up with and you stole from me. I'm just saying maybe there should be a check in the mail first of every month. Yeah, I guess that's royalties. I guess that's what I'm asking for.
and I will also say,
Wait a minute. Now, I'm not saying I want royalties for this clearly amazing idea that you stole from me. But, maybe there should be a check in the mail for every month. Yeah, I guess that's royalties. Guess what I'm asking for.
it's the fact we both have those clips. You're muted.
Oh. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
You know what? I look a lot better now.
I wasn't going to say it because it felt like it'd be mean if I said it. But the long hair just suits you.
Yeah, and also I'm a lot less. I'm still pretty big, but I'm a lot less round.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too. But so kind of one more thing here, because we're going to kind of wrap up the stream here shortly because we have gone a little bit over my original 30 minutes I said I was going to do. I'd like everyone to know.
I have not watched Collision from last night yet.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
I don't know. I don't watch it.
I figured you'd be for MJF and Kenny.
No, I had other stuff to do. Went out to dinner with my wife, came home, worked on universe stuff, all that kind of stuff. But so I'd like everyone to know, I finally got around to it. I finally had time. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not even going to give you any context on what you're about to see. It only took me like 5 months, but Impact's finally got an intro.
It didn't come through for me, but I'll see it later. But wait, so you have an intro that you're going to have to change to TNA.
That's easy. I just got to change the Impact graphic out for a TNA graphic. That's pretty easy. So Impact will finally have an intro starting on Thursday this week, which is pretty exciting. Because as everyone knows, Impact is my favorite show to do. And I will say, if you think that there was a slight little hint there with the clip in the intro of Joe Hendry slamming Samoa Joe being set to the lyric, "We need a miracle." You're probably right. But yeah, Ray's muted again. There we go. You're unmuted now.
All right. We got a week, quite a week ahead of us on the channel.
We do.
Yeah.
Money in the Bank qualifiers on Raw and SmackDown this week. The ladder matches will be rounded out this week. We got Bronson Reed versus Dexter Lumis, Lita versus Shotzi. What are the other ones? Dominic Mysterio versus Damian Priest. And getting there. Hold on. Nia Jax versus Cora Jade on Raw this week. And Jinder Mahal will once again defend his newly won United States title as I scream into an eternal abyss.
Yeah, on AEW television this week, let's see. I'm gonna give you some details about the actual next special that we have coming up, and the plans for that. Those in like the inner circle know more about this, and also if you're just in the Discord, you'll know more.
Yeah.
So if you're a fan, get in the Discord because it helps.
Absolutely, the Discord's a ton of fun. Pierre throws out the hypothetical of I do wonder how we'd handle the 2015 Royal Rumble and the more possibly more infamous Rumble than the Batista one. Stay tuned. That's on my list.
I don't know, man. But anyway, yeah. So this week that we're going to have more updates on our next special, and of course, actually, thank you, Matthew. But actually, after that. Guys, after our next upcoming special, we'll be all in London, which is big show, big show. We have so much planned. I have been fine tuning this card.
Yeah, you've been sending me stuff for it for months.
Yeah, and that's because I wanted to like feel like a WrestleMania outside WWE, and I kind of feel like All in London in real life kind of failed to do that.
Yeah,
because like I do like MJF and Cole, but other than that match, so many of the matches were so lukewarm in terms of like the actual build. So yeah, we're going to be doing that. And this week, Jon Moxley returns to television.
Oh yeah,
Jon Moxley is going to return to TV, and I think Ospreay. On TV again. We have good times.
Then Impact this week is also going to be fun. I haven't recorded it yet, but I have it written down right here. I do all of my booking on paper now.
Really?
Yeah, I really do. You might, if you look in the booking document, the only thing I do in there is pay-per-views. It's because when I do it on paper, I can do it during my 15-minute breaks at work or during my lunch break instead of worrying about, using my work computer to open up the document. Let's see. This week is July week 2. Yes. So this week on Impact, we'll have the Rascals versus ABC and qualifying match for the ladder match. Heath is going to go one-on-one with Brian Cage. Deonna Purrazzo and Steph DeLander defend the knockout tag title.
July week 2?
Yes, it is July week 2.
Okay.
Jordan Grace and Hikaru Shida challenge Deonna Purrazzo and Steph DeLander for the knockouts tag titles. Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian will be face-to-face. And in the main event, AJ Styles faces Steve Maclin. We are I'm really milking this AJ Styles Impact return for what I can for while I've got him.
Yeah. And it's funny because it was literally my idea to do it because originally we thought we were sending AJ somewhere, right?
Yes.
We knew AJ was going outside WWE, but originally the plan was for him to do actually a match with Ospreay at
Yeah.
Wrestle Kingdom was the original idea. And then I was like, Xander, I cannot do this to you.
Right. Zach asked when we get to October, we're going to do a Halloween Havoc. Probably not. But right, so we're going to wrap up here shortly because, like I said, we've gone a little over my original scheduled time I was doing this for, and I do want to get to gaming with my wife today. I will say to people, I'm going to give it a shot. I talk about it a little bit on Universe episode this week. I talked about it a little in Discord. Ray has pointed me in the direction of not doing it. After SummerSlam, I'm going to test it for a few months. We'll do a 3-month test run of it, and if I like it more, we'll stick with it. If I don't like it more, then it was a 3-month experiment. After SummerSlam, for a 3-month period between SummerSlam and Forbidden War, Raw and SmackDown are going to have brand exclusive pay-per-views. I'm going to give it a shot. So Raw will get Clash at the Castle. I haven't figured it out yet. But there's going to be Clash in the Castle, Bad Blood, and Survivor Series War Games are all going to happen. War Games will be a combined show. So it's really a 2-month experiment. So the month after SummerSlam would have Clash at the Castle and probably No Mercy. And then the next month would have Bad Blood. And then, I don't know, maybe we already did Unforgiven. Bad Blood, and I'll figure it out.
Well, Zach already said it in Halloween Havoc.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Halloween Havoc. Bad Blood and Halloween Havoc. Perfect. But yeah, so that's my announcement, because my thought is maybe that'll give some more people more time on the card, because Raw already has a bunch of stories going on that don't get pay-per-view blow-offs, so same with SmackDown.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes, and in the end, it's really just not even that much more of a workload for me. The way I'm looking at it is I'm taking what would normally be a 10-match pay-per-view and splitting it up into 2 6-match pay-per-views, so 2 more matches get added, 1 to each, really.
Yeah. Also, like, you guys wouldn't think it, but pay-per-views are the easiest thing to record.
Because you don't have to have anything between the matches.
Oh, yeah, you can just go match to match to match to match to match. And, like, you don't have to, like, and in my case, because I do this to myself, Xander is a little bit better about it. But me, I'm just like, I have to get this angle in highlight reel, and now I have to get this angle in highlight reel.
Yeah, and sometime in the next month or so, I'm going to finally get this mod pack made, and Ray is getting my old computer. So AEW will move to the PC eventually.
Yeah.
I'm getting to it. I've been a little busy.
Yeah, I understand. All right.
Yeah,
you're just keeping all of us from quality content.
Dude, I'm doing 5 episodes a week right now.
I know, bro. I'm giving you shit.
I know. Fortunately, it's about to become 4. That'll be nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's going to do it for the stream. If you got anything to add, because I don't have anything to add.
Always make sure to drink your Ovaltine.
All right. Well, that's going to do it, everyone. Thank you for 4 years on the channel. We'll see you all later this week. Tune in on Tuesday to my solo channel where I'll do a live stream for Halloween. Until then, I've been Xander.
I've been Ray.
And that was a live stream.